followed, so it's like a bunch of fluttery butterflies on the screen.
I'm going to do
we're
it to Tobey
live.
Maguire.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hunters Hub. This is your host, Fortuan, joined by Sasha. Welcome back from your 2-week break.
Thank you. Glad to be back. How's it going?
Well, I'm excited for the D&D stuff, but you know, child support stuff like we talked about isn't so great, but you know, not something I want to talk about on a public podcast.
Yeah.
Morg, welcome back. How you doing?
I am doing excellent. Oh my god, I have been so busy this last week. There's been a lot of good stuff going on. Finally got my GDL. First try.
Okay.
Woo!
Nice.
Class 5 is now mine. That and I got further in Monster Hunter. So yeah, we can talk about that later if we want.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have some serious progress made on the crown hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome back, Ace. How you doing?
Howdy ho. Doing good. Painted my nails
Okay.
just for no particular reason. Just felt like it.
You just took
Beans,
some
it's a
of
nice
the
shade of blue.
the missus's paint, nail paint, and just like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I mean, like on that episode that I keep hounding you to watch of the Grumps, where they make legendary cookies with Matt Mercer and his giant, like 8-inch thick steel D20. He's got his nails painted, so I guess
Yeah.
that sort of inspired me.
Sure.
And then Andrea was like, "I'm fucking jealous of you right now," because I guess mine turned out pretty decently.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm an amateur. My fiance's jealous.
Yeah, I have never in my life painted my nails. I
did it all the same color, but originally I was thinking of just
alternating.
making all the ones except for my middle finger black, and then having the middle finger be like purple.
Gotcha. Just so people know which one they're seeing. Right.
It's called an accent finger.
Accent finger?
Accent. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anything. You could be saying it. That I don't know if this is a joke or not. No idea.
What?
Accent finger is a real thing or not? No clue.
It
Yeah,
is.
it
It's
is.
just
Okay.
also funny because his would be on his middle finger.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I mean, especially after the work weekend that I've had so far, and I'm not done because I picked up a shift for tomorrow morning. So.
Yeah, we had a decent work week. We were back. I don't know if you remember, Ace, but back when I was at the face mask factory for like a whole couple months, helping them out. We went back there this week, and they're like, "Hey, this thing's broken. We don't know why." And so, like, we've been there a lot again. It's like, what did you guys do? How did you guys screw this up so bad? Like, oh man,
Nice.
yeah. I was gonna say, my family has a history of like having like really hard nails, so our nails get long. Like, it's hard to see, I guess, but Chance has to use like industrial grade clippers on his nails because he will break a normal pair of nail clippers. They will break.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. So our nails are particularly tough.
I was gonna say you gotta bust out the you gotta have your fingers in the channel locks, and then gotta have like either your brother or one of your parents get like the hand grinder and just.
Yeah, mine are not as bad as his. He has like a really extra big one. I just use like a big toenail clipper one for my fingers, which is weird because they're
Use
curved.
an angle grinder, you know?
They're curved the wrong way because they're going like they bump up, which I don't understand that. It's like it's a curve against a curve with your finger, so it's like I have to cut it like 4 or 5 times to get like an even cut. It's weird.
Oh dear.
So tonight I was really excited. We talked a little bit about it last week. I'm just really excited for this D&D movie with Chris Pine and some other people. I don't remember her name, but she's like in all the action movies. She's in the Furious movies that's playing like the fighter chick. Um, I don't remember her name at all, but she's in a lot of movies where she plays a very tough girl a lot of the time. Um, Reprising her role as a tough girl as the fighter. And of course, we have.
The Bridgerton guy.
Yes. He's in some other
Is he a
stuff too.
paladin? I think he's a paladin.
He could. You're talking about the one. They're like, oh, we're glad he's on our side. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that guy. I was talking about the other
That's
guy.
that's the Bridgerton guy.
Okay.
He's from season 1.
Okay. I've never watched Bridgerton, so
I'm not sure it'd be for you, but yeah, it is really good.
probably not. Oh, although in talking about Primal, where I was so excited about it, season 2 came out and I didn't notice.
Michelle Rodriguez, you were talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I also spammed that out to you. I was like, hey, this thing is up. 2 episodes are out. And now the 3rd episode is out, so I'll probably watch that after this.
Yeah, I will eventually
Maybe
watch
pass out.
And Sasha, I have a book recommendation for you I've been waiting to tell you about.
Okay.
So, after Hard Luck Hank, because it's in the same sort of style, and it's on theme tonight with our Dungeons and Dragons movie talk, Dungeon Crawler Carl. He's this guy who lives in Seattle, and he's in a relationship with this girl who I don't know what she does for a living, but she's on a vacation and like in the Bahamas with a bunch of her friends, and then he sees on Instagram also her ex-boyfriend, and like he sees she's sitting on his lap, and he's like his narration is very interesting, I would say. He's just like kind of like a weird action movie star kind of talk, like this. He sounds dumber than he is, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. He's like, I don't like drama, so I called her up, I said we were through, and I was going to take care of the cat until she got home. And the cat is like one of those smush faced like white cats, like the super poofy cats that have like no face.
Like the villain from Cats and Dogs. I remember him, Mr. Tinkles.
Yeah. This one is called Grand Champion Princess Donut, is I think her full name, because she is a all-around pet show grand champion across the world. That is like what she does, is goes and shows this cat around. And he was taking care of the cat. And so it's him and the cat in his room, and I'm just basically saying the beginning of the story to sort of talk about it. He's in his room and he smokes, but he knows the cat doesn't like it when he smokes, so he like has his window down, and it's like January 3rd or something, so it's like a super cold day. It's like below freezing for some reason in Seattle, which is usually very mild because it's close to the ocean. And the cat for some reason gets spooked and jumps out the window into the tree, and he's like,
oh jeez.
And he's like, he does his favorite line, or his pseudo catchphrase. He's like, God damn it, Donut, get back here. And he's like, so he runs outside, but he's in his boxers. So he's like, oh, I'm going to throw a leather jacket on real quick. And he throws on some pink Crocs that are, his ex-girlfriend's old Crocs, but he couldn't find his shoes real quick. So he runs outside. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get the cat, and suddenly every building in the world flattens like a pop can. Every building. And this automated voice comes up and says, dude, it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, essentially. Like, your planet has been taken over. All remaining survivors, if you wish to win your planet back, may enter the dungeon. It is 18 floors, and da-da-da-da-da. So basically, he's sort of like forced into like being like a video game character and a dungeon crawler. And he goes in, And all of his loot and stuff comes from like loot boxes and that kind of thing, and monster drops. And his party is literally him and Princess Donut, because no one else entered in Seattle, around Seattle, because they all died because they were in buildings. And because basically, essentially, everyone who was in a building died. And all the material that was shoved underground became the dungeon. So they just like pseudo built this dungeon out of nowhere with this like crazy technology. And yeah, it's about his adventures trying to live through a real life video game RPG. And he gets like stats
Interesting.
and stuff through his loot boxes, and he gets achievements. Like he has an achievement because he's walking into the dungeon with no pants. So he gets an achievement for going into the dungeon pantsless and no weapon. And he got an achievement, Crazy Cat Lady, because he was the first person in the world to enter the dungeon with a cat as his party member. And like one of the other things is the cat becomes sentient at one point because he feeds it this special biscuit that he got in a loot box, and then it becomes sentient, and she sounds like a princess, like a real, and she thinks she's a real princess too, and it's just hilarious.
Oh no!
But here's the thing, because the biscuit was so epic and legendary or whatever, all of her stats are way higher than his. So because the party leader by default is the most accumulated stats, it's the cat. So she changed the party name to the Court of Princess Donut, of like her full title, like Grand Champion something 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 Princess Donut, and he is the protector of Princess Donut is his name, or Princess Donut's guardian or something like that. It's just
Oh my god!
it's so funny. Apparently whoever wrote this, right, published and put it out in 2021, right? We're now in how far we're almost in August of 2022. There are 5 books out of this series. Like this guy was cranking out these books apparently. But I've almost finished. I'm like an hour left on book 1, and I am loving it. It is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It brings up all sorts of like funny video game stuff and references and that kind of stuff, and it's kind of also like what do you call it? What's that movie that was terrible? Hunger Games. Like it's all televised.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say the first Dungeons and Dragons movie.
No, I am here for the first Dungeons and Dragons movie.
What is the race of that guy with like the 3 eyes and he's got the blue skin? Like what race is that, and why is it not playable in like 5e right now?
I think they just came up with fantasy things. I do not recognize anything of what that. You're talking about the merchant guy? Yeah, no idea.
So yeah.
Yeah,
they need to make that a playable race.
So
whatever it is.
So this, like, anyone listening, it's Dungeon Crawler Carl is the name of the series, and I think it's also the name of the first book. And they're on Audible. That's how I was listening to them. But I'm sure you can find them on Amazon as a digital book at least. I'm sure, because most anything on Audible I think is also available on Amazon, because they are owned by Amazon, I believe.
Yeah, it should be that. Yeah.
So, Dungeon Crawler Carl, and of course, like I've said, Hard Luck Hank as well. I did listen to another whole book of Hard Luck Hank. That one was interesting. The plot continues to go crazy on that one.
So if they made a movie out of Dungeon Crawler Carl, who would you see as Carl and then Princess Donut? Because I could see it potentially being like Paul Rudd and maybe ScarJo, or potentially Florence Pugh.
Paul Rudd would have to make himself more serious than he is in his movies.
Oh yeah.
To fit this guy's personality.
The cover makes him look like Doom guy.
Almost, yeah.
Or not Doom guy, Wolfenstein guy. Like,
BJ Blazkowicz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's, gosh, personality wise, what I almost want to say like a very young Clint Eastwood is more of like his candor. He's very weird. He's very weird. He's very militaristic. He's very practical. He's not super smart, but he's very
So
practical.
maybe like a Hugh Jackman performance.
I could see Hugh Jackman.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Or Carl Urban, one of those guys.
Yes, yes.
Carl
Yeah.
That's the
Urban
one.
in a leather jacket,
it.
in his boxers and pink Crocs.
Yes.
Yes.
He,
Make
Okay,
it happen,
I'm here for that.
please.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even need to see the movie. Just screen grab that for me.
I will say Carl Urban was the protagonist in the terrible Doom movie as well, but it wasn't. I liked
He was pretty good in that movie. I mean,
he was. I would say the way he acted in the Doom movie is kind of the way I would want to see Dungeon Crawler Carl. Now, Princess Donut. You're kind of thinking like you're trying to think of like almost like a prima donna character, right? Like someone who can do that really well. So I could see
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. No, it's a very female voice. There's actually different. This is one of the few audiobooks I've listened to where there's different voices for different characters. So like they actually have different voice actors. Most of the time, it's read by the same person and voiced by the same person doing different voices because that's what Hard Luck Hank does. But this actually has different voice actors. I could see someone like, oh crap, what's her name? She's in the
Reese Witherspoon.
Maybe, yeah, I could see Reese Witherspoon. Someone who Anna Kendrick is who I was trying to think of. Someone who can sound super girly, and sarcastic at the same time.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell would work very well. Yes. Yeah, something like that. I could see. She might, even an older actress would work as well because she's the cat that's older, not super old, but like experienced show cat, who's very in love with the camera, like very much loves that this is a TV show, and
Dame Edna. Yeah, they could do that.
yeah. So
have an Australian drag queen do it.
Okay, I mean, as long as they can do the voice right, it'd be just fine because they're just a cat. It doesn't matter what they look like. They're just voicing a cat.
Totally could do it. 100%.
But there's all sorts of cool things in this book, just like ideas and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So the D&D movie. Have you guys all seen the trailer? I'm sure, based on the talk, I know Sasha wasn't here, so Sasha, you've seen it, but I know you guys have seen it. Ace and Morg. So this doesn't come out till next year, but I'm super excited because as a big D&D fan, we've not got a lot of attention for D&D. The closest thing we got was the movie in the early 2000s with one of the Wayans brothers, and this is the Ridleyest thing I've ever seen, and all of that. Now, how many of you guys have actually seen that old D&D movie?
I have. I regret every second of it. Oh boy.
To me, it's amazing as like one of those so bad it's good movies. Because I quote it all the time. Like the bad guy, Damodar, every time I say damn it, I just go, Damodar. Because the way he says it himself. Like it's
oh my god.
Oh man. But there were so like really cool throwbacks. Like I love Chicken Beard is what I call him. He's a dwarf that's so messy when he's eating. He's got like things of chicken stuck in his beard. Just he's
all right.
He's just I love that they had such a mixed party. And this one they all look like humans aside from one elf though. I think it's 3 humans and an elf or 2. Might be 2 elves.
Yeah.
Cuz we got a druid in this one in the trailer.
I think I also saw a black dragon spitting acid or something like that.
Yes.
In like the early beginnings of that. So yeah,
That
I'm
was-
glad that they keep true to like all like the chromatic dragons and their elemental typing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene. You could see dwarves fighting in that scene. I just want to see a dwarf in the main party. I love dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I've always said dwarves are my spirit animal. So, so I guess I'll let you guys talk a bit. So, like, are we excited? What's
I
I'm
think
pretty
it's going to be a
excited.
very promising movie. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good movie.
I'm surprised. By
Then
the
again,
star
by
power
standards of
behind
like what I've seen of like the first Dungeons and Dragons movie with the guy with the weird ear tentacle things coming out and saying that he's gonna suck all the information out of people's brains and shit like that. Yeah, obviously it's
Damodar.
going to be a 10 out of 10 by comparison, easily.
That's-
Oh my god, that movie is so weird. And why was he wearing lipstick too? Ugh.
Mhm.
Oh, and if you hear any rumbling around here, it's because I'm outdoors and there's going to be a thunderstorm coming in. So sorry about that in advance.
Do you need to jump off early?
No. I don't think a little bit of rain is going to hurt, but you know, we'll just go with it. You know, we'll just keep rolling with it. You know, if it starts raining,
I mean, it might
we'll
hurt
pretend
your
it never
computer.
happened. Nah, don't worry. It's a MacBook. Who cares? I'll just buy a new one. Anyways, yes, continue.
I'm a little concerned about Morg right now, just podcasting out in a thunderstorm.
It's not the worst thing I've done.
I mean, that's
way
like
worse.
I mean,
like a
dropping a
Midwest
mattress
move
on
right
your
there.
setup was pretty close to the worst thing you've done. That was funny.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah,
Which
I
Sasha,
thrive in
you weren't part
chaos.
of the stream at that point, but like it happened on stream. He just accidentally knocked out a mattress, and you just see it on camera, just boom, all over him.
Well, he left to go and get some food or something. So we were just sort of, I think we were like conversing to keep the conversation going, and then you just see it slowly like.
I come in, I'm like, oh no, my setup is ruined.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
fun times.
That was pretty funny. So Sasha, you haven't seen the first one. You're a little light on the D&D stuff. So like, what about this trailer stood out to you?
I mean, I like nerdy stuff like this all the time, and
Sure.
it really doesn't even have to be all that great for me to like it. It's like I liked the Warcraft movie, even though it really wasn't all that well received.
I loved it. I loved that movie. I can tell
really
you,
enjoyed it.
I can tell you the moment I fell in love with that movie. It's where the orcs ambush the knights out in the forest. And there's this giant orc that has a hammer and crushes a knight, and it sounds like a pop can crushing. And I was like, the sound design in this movie is so good.
Yeah, no, I think the cast looks really great. I love Chris Pine. I do like Michelle Rodriguez. I did not know the name of the Bridgerton guy, Rene Jean Paget. I don't know. I'm gonna guess that it's French. It sounds pretty French.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice Hugh Grant in the trailer. I was kind of just like dazzled by all the
Yeah,
all of
he's
the
listed as
dragons.
the rogue.
Yes, which is interesting to me.
The rogue are they redoing the rogue maze? Because it looks like they are from the first D&D movie. So there's this there's this section in the first D&D movie where this rogue has like this gem or whatever MacGuffin that the party needs, and he has this maze, and whoever beats the maze gets his prized possession. And it turns out he just built a guild around the maze because he couldn't get through it safely himself, and he just pretended like it was his. So whoever wins, he's just going to stick him up for the gem. They kind of showed a big maze in the trailer and someone standing over it. That could have been him.
I wonder if he's the wrong person that they're referencing in the trailer where they said they stole something for the wrong person.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I also don't know what's up with like that weird cornucopia full of blood that's in the beginning of the movie. Who knows? Maybe that might be also another MacGuffin that we're looking forward to.
Or just a set piece, like they open up a door and that's how it opens. It's just I has to fill the room with blood, and you're like, ew. Something really evil lives here.
I mean, they've got a mimic and seemingly a gelatinous cube.
Yes,
in the trailer.
Gelatinous cubes.
With my limited experience, it's already looking good for D&D movie.
I love that the mimic licks the wall and just attaches to it like some sort of weird chameleon and flies to it. Like I would never have put that attribute on a mimic, but it makes sense. It made so much sense.
Mhm.
The druid turning into an owl bear. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, I like that.
I like Chris Pine's character where he's like, what do you call that? He's like, an owl bear? Like, because he's like, it's like an owl and it's a bear. We call it an owl bear. Funny enough, I've never done an article on mimics. I did do an owl bear article though, for my D&D article stuff.
Yeah. What's the name of the world that the Dark Elves live in? What is it called? The Underdark or something like that?
Yeah, the Underdark.
I feel like it should be. Yeah, I think we do also get to see a bit of that as well in this movie, so that's actually really cool. I don't think that we've ever actually seen that in a Dungeons & Dragons movie.
No, I think that they would probably try to avoid that because Dark Elves are very controversial for being evil because they're the Black Elves. Like it's a very controversial thing.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, wasn't done as a racism thing in real world. It's just, I don't know. There's not much to defend it, honestly, but I've never seen it that way. But then again, I'm not dark skinned, so I don't have much of a say on it. So
yeah, that would also be assuming that like a lot of people with that African descent would also have pointy ears. So I don't really think that they really have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, we're getting to the territory which Pan says I always bring up with the orc article I did, where I had like black orcs that lived in caves, and they were like, that's racist. I was like, sorry, I didn't think about race when I was thinking of a fantasy creature. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of grasping at straws for representation. And it's like, oh, wait, these are the only black-skinned people. They are our people. It's like,
now
are you
I will
really
say
that shallow that's the depth of like how far you're willing to reach for a certain race or characters, that you're only going to look at their skin color? Like, come on, like, are you not going to look at the cultural background or anything like that? Like where they live or what they eat?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems with. I mean, D&D has across the board been going through a big. We no longer call it race. We call it background or whatever. We call it patronage. It's been a big upheaval in the D&D space right now, as far as like race goes. The thing that I got, a lot of people were really on my case about when I wrote my orc article was also like, well, what about what if the orcs are not heterosexual? What if there's homosexual orcs? And people were asking me about that, and I was like, I didn't really think about that. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't
think that orcs are capable of abstract thinking that they're willing to question their sexuality.
Sure.
I thought I was being clever when I wrote the article because you talk about like harems and are normally a guy with a bunch of girls, right? And that's the way orcs have always been depicted in those kind of things, of like one orc with many orc wives and that kind of thing, because it was like a barbaric thing or whatever. I thought I was being cool by flipping it on its head, saying that it was more of a religious thing where the women choose, but the women get to choose whoever, and they get to choose, like, it could be like 7 women choosing the same guy, and the guy doesn't have a choice in the matter. So, like, according to their religious edicts. So, like it was all just like, the women choosing all the favorable guys, and there's just a bunch of orcs that just don't get picked because they're not favorable. So, the wife
would be a matriarchal situation.
I just picture one orc husband just having to do like all the chores between seven different orc wives, and like each one just keeps adding something. He's like, yes dear, yes dear, yes dear.
Oh, dude, I feel like those males' rights activists would really be steamed about all this. Ooh!
Yeah, so I thought I was being clever by reversing the harem situation that way. No, it was just like, what is your stance on gay orcs? I'm like, I didn't have one. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry. I didn't think about it. I was like, I don't want to have to be responsible for every social situation in real life for an article that but it was also the most sentient race that I ever did as well. So, yeah. Anyways, so back to the movie. I know it's early. Was it next year? Right? It's early 2023. Or was it summer? Gosh, I gotta look this up. Actually, I could just Google it. Honor Among Thieves, by the way, is the name of the movie.
March 2023.
Yeah, so March. So we're close.
That's
to
not too far away.
We're close to a year. But yeah. Oh, I see who you're talking about. Rajay Jean Page. Rajay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bridgerton guy.
That works. That works. And Jason Wong's in this too. Nice. But yeah, like I'm super like I love D&D. So like the old D&D movie, unequivocally I love it. Like I love that there is representation of D&D and pop culture back that far back in movies, cuz you know D&D has always been a thing, right? Like it may not have been super popular until, 2000s, but
That's because it's devil worship.
I mean, it was a
It's-
very big factor in the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
It was a huge factor in
Yes.
that. And I mean,
Yeah, the Christians are not a fan of D&D.
Have you watched season 4 of Stranger Things yet?
No, I have not.
That's like a big allegorical thing that they put into season 4. Is that
Well,
they
season
play
4
up
is
on the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
Satanic
really
Panic thing.
Yeah.
Season 4 is a really big one, isn't it?
Yeah, because they do.
Because they had to make up for a lot of the lost time from COVID.
One of the few
Yeah, like
things
they're in
I
high
did
school.
see is him being like, "Oh, it's the Hellfire," whatever they called him.
Hellfire Club, yeah.
Yeah, the Hellfire Club. Oh, those terrible people that killed my girlfriend or whatever. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I see where this is going. Like, it's bringing him up to some sort of righteous rage. He feels like over this group of people that's legit saved the world twice, and then
Well, they don't know that because they're not allowed to know that. But
sure, yeah. It's kind of cool because like Stranger Things is indeed its own thing, but I do like it is very representative of D&D. Although it does do the thing that I hate the most is really really fuck up the monsters like very badly. They're not.
They're trying to make it fit their narrative because they try to take the D&D party stuff and fit it into like each season.
as Spike Lee said of his 2014 remake of Old Boy, it's a reinterpretation.
Yeah, artistic license has a way of ruining the fidelity of certain aspects of certain things. Like, like misrepresentation of monsters.
But don't worry, because that righteous rage gets righteously bisected by the end.
Yeah. Okay.
I see what you did there.
I know what you.
I
know what you mean by that. I haven't seen it, but I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very, very satisfied by that. I wish it was a character that got to do it, but also you'll probably get to love Eddie Munson if you ever watch it. He was definitely the golden child of the season.
I don't remember the name of that
sheriff?
one show, but
No, that's Hopper.
Hmm.
Eddie Munson is a character that the damn it, what's the town?
Hawkins.
Sasha, help. Hawkins. I don't know why I blanked. That the core Hawkins group minus Will and Elle, because they move out to California with Joyce, and then Will gets a horrible bowl cut. Um, they join up with Eddie Munson and his friends to join the Hellfire Club, so they're like super into D&D at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now, is
And he's
Eddie
got like
Munson
the
the
whole.
DM, the long-haired DM guy? Okay, yeah, I know you're.
Mhm.
Yes.
See, I've watched some of the episodes. I think I'm 2 or 3 in. I just haven't finished it because
Mhm.
I've got Primal to finish. Well, keep up on because I got one more episode of Primal to do, and then I've been listening to the audiobooks and playing Monster Hunter, like a lot of Monster Hunter, still.
Mhm.
I may or may not be edging close to 1,000 hours.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. You're getting into the veteran hours.
I say if you make it past 50, you're in the veteran hours on Monster Hunter, honestly. Personally.
Yeah. I'm getting close to Master Rank 100, so I'll finally be able to
I
get
think
that last little bit.
I left off at 222 right now.
Show off.
Yes. um so okay, so we have Honor Among Thieves as the title, but we certainly have a paladin, a druid, and what I assume that we have
I think a few rogues, at least one for sure.
yeah,
Chris Pine's the bard,
yes.
and
I love that line at the end of the trailer. He's like, "Well, he plays lute. That has nothing to do with it."
Michelle Rodriguez is the barbarian. And yes,
Mhm.
Bridgerton is a paladin.
Okay. Okay. She's a barbarian. I can get the barbarian vibe, but she was wearing armor, so that kind of threw me off to a fighter. But she was brawling. But you know,
Mhm.
okay. It's just the barbarians aren't known for wearing armor, is all. Well, you know, steel armor.
Well, maybe she's a smarter barbarian. And she's like, y'all can die, I'm gonna live.
Sure. I mean, but mechanically, normally they can't wear armor like that. Like it's not within there.
Yeah.
I mean, they could wear armor if they had the feet for it, but I mean, it doesn't serve them any purpose because they get their bonuses
Unarmored
from not wearing armor.
Yeah, like unarmored
So
defense stuff. Like it's a thing. But it's a movie.
it's their Constitution modifier on top of
They're not going to bring
So
the mechanics as much, I think, into the movie. That's more of like a video game treatment thing.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, Michelle Rodriguez. I don't even see her on the overview cast. Why is she not there?
What are you looking on?
Google.
Yeah, she's
Go
not
to-
like in the
Go
thumbnail.
to IMDb.
picture.
Google, you bad. All right, IMDb. Yeah, I did. I've looked up IMDb a lot. Apparently, it was like all these like recent searches that come up. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I definitely see her there.
Mm.
Yeah, she's
Ooh,
she's
aside
like
from
number 2 on the IMDb, which makes sense.
Mhm.
yeah. Aside from those other monsters that we mentioned before, we do get to see displacer beasts.
Oh, there is a glimpse of that. Yeah.
Yeah, when those people dive into the gelatinous cube, yeah, they're like dodging a displacer beast.
Yes, that's a cool one to see. Like I like Displacer Beast, but if we get
And there's
Displacer,
also a really pudgy dragon. I don't know. I've never actually seen a fat dragon before, so this will
Yeah, I
be pretty
don't-
interesting.
yeah,
to
I don't
see.
know what that would be. They definitely had the black dragon, and I like how the acid is black because most of the time it's depicted as green. But
Yeah,
I'm just letting it silently roll through right now to see if I can see more monsters.
Mhm.
I do love that Chris Pine is the actor in this. Like I
Yeah.
like him in a lot of things. His sense of humor, I think, is really good for something like this.
Mm.
I'm also assuming that there was a scene where somebody has used the shield spell against a firebolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
There's also a scene where one of them has like a trick sword, where the
Mhm.
top
And then
level of the
there's like
sword like ejects off, and there's like a smaller blade underneath it.
And
Yeah.
then I think there's like an enchanted axe with like fire element maybe slapped onto
Mhm.
that.
Mm.
So now the question is, who would know the shield spell aside from a wizard? Does Paladin get shield?
Clerics get it.
Clerics get okay, so we may have a cleric.
Or I don't know if paladins do, but we definitely have a wizard. I think the younger black guy is a wizard, I think.
Okay, then
I
yeah,
think he
yeah.
is.
Okay, then we definitely got a wizard then
Yeah,
in the
I
group.
just saw the
Actually, yeah, it'd be kind of weird to have D&D without any wizard classes in it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do like you know what? I'm thinking the druid is a tiefling. With the horns. She has some horns.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Oh yeah, you're right. She does have horns. So yeah, she might be a tiefling.
Alright, sorry. I got through it. Alright, so there's definitely a displacer beast. It looks weird, but it's definitely a displacer beast. What other things would you guys maybe like to see in this movie? Like, I know Sasha, you're excited all around, and you may not know a lot of different things that pop up, or Ace, but Morg, we'll lead off with you. What other things would you like to see in the
Ooh.
movie? You know, classes or
Oh,
monsters or whatever.
what is the name of that? Oh yeah, I would like to see some Ettins, like the two-headed giant guys from
Okay.
D&D, or maybe even see some wraiths. Ooh, that'd be cool. Or yeah, is it wraiths or is there like another name for it? I can't remember. The things that like to hide in shadows and they're like um, completely untouchable unless you shine light on them. What are they called?
I'm not sure it's a
I think
wraith,
I think it's
but
wraiths. No. What are they called?
I'm not as familiar with that one.
Let me see. I think it's. Oh, it might just be a shade. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like shades would be really cool.
Okay. I'd like to see a beholder. That's a very iconic D&D
Oh,
monster.
yeah. That's a necessity as well. Beholders are a big one. Or
It's one of the
oh
few that
wait.
appeared in the other D&D movie was a beholder, although it was a very weird like guard animal thing, and which is not what a beholder would be.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, mind flayers. If we get dark elves, then we could also get like gray elves, and then we could also maybe even get some mind flayers in there.
okay, mind flayers.
That could be a possibility.
That'd be a good representation since Stranger Things did that one Injustice as well.
Mm-hmm. Or at the very minimum,
It's
a
a
lich.
reinterpretation.
I don't even
We
know.
definitely need at least a one lich. One lich might make me happy.
A lich. Okay, that might be because a lich is a pretty high end monster, so that might be kind of tough. Like I think our high end monster we're looking at is a dragon, especially the pudgy one. Um,
Well, even an adult dragon is like what a CR.
10, I believe. It's like right down the middle of 10, I believe.
Yeah, that's really for an adult dragon.
I think.
Huh.
Dude, I'm so out of loop on 5th edition that
I'll have to take a look at what the adult dragon's stat lot looks like. Let's see.
I'm so much
Adult.
in the Pathfinder 2 land right now. Oh, and that's what I was talking about. The Pathfinder 2 didn't even bother calling them races like they normally do. Pathfinder 2, oh come on. The stream's just going to look like a blank screen right now for a second. All right. There we go. Pathfinder 2 ends up calling them ancestries instead. So you're an elven ancestry, you're a dwarven ancestry, human ancestry, which is actually kind of cool. I think it's a good way to represent, you know, a people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, challenge rating of 17 for a an adult red dragon, so that's pretty high. And I think a lich is like, what is it? I think it might be like in the low 20s, perhaps. Or maybe no, it's got to be a little less. I think the demi lich is actually the one that's much higher because it's actually gotten a scream that has a chance to automatically kill people. Yeah, I'll have to double check that.
Oh, I should also
Lich
send you for it
5ECR.
the Lions Plays mini series from Olin Rogers on YouTube. I think you'd enjoy those because I think they're supposed to sort of be like mocks of like parodies of like D&D and
Ooh,
the
okay, yeah.
Diablo.
I
Lich
gotcha.
is CR21, so yeah, he's pretty high up there. He's no Tarask, but I mean, like, he's still pretty high up there.
Okay, I was wrong, Mark. I'm looking at it now.
Mm-hmm.
The young are 10, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The young are 10. I'm seeing an adult at 14. And this is Pathfinder, and an ancient at 19.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Which,
ancient dragons are typically in like the mid 20s
right.
for D&D 5e.
Yeah, so to explain to the audience, we're talking about like usually 20 is the top end of a character. So like the most powerful monsters are going to be 20 and above. And
Mm-hmm.
most characters don't reach it past 5 a lot of the time if you're starting at level 1. And it's not
Yeah, especially if you're doing like a one shot. Yeah, one shots you typically start at like level 1 and then you're lucky to maybe get to level 3, maybe even level 5 if you're doing really well.
yeah, because
But more often everybody dies anyways.
most D&D plays is below level 10. Not many people get to start at level 1 and go through 20. It's just not done a lot of the time. I've only ever had since I was 13, so we're talking 21 years now that I've been playing D&D. It's happened once for me.
I think the highest level I've ever gotten was probably level 16 or the highest level I ever got was probably level 16. So in order for you to get to like level 20, you'd have to have multiple sessions over the course of at least 2 or 3 different campaigns, and it would have to be constantly escalating from there. So yeah, if you do like new campaigns with new characters, there is no chance that you can get a level 20 character unless specifically
Now-
starting with like a level 10 character at the start of like, session 1.
Conversely, since the release of 5th edition, Pan, our friend, has been running a game that has had, what are they on, the 6th generation of level 20 characters? They
Oh
actually
my god.
they'll play up to level 20 and then they'll have their children or new characters be the predecessors of what their characters accomplished in the previous campaign and move forward with that unless they die or something. But she has these epic long adventures she's been doing for years. Like, we're talking over a decade now, I believe. She's been doing this.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I got to know her, is through D&D stuff. So the same place I was putting the monster articles that I used to do. Well, I still do them occasionally, but it's hard to want to do them when people don't read them anymore. So, Sasha, Ace, you guys are obviously less experienced in D&D. How much have you guys played? Zero.
I've only played a little bit of D&D. I think I got my character was like level 5 or something, not very far.
Yeah.
We played through like 2 campaigns. And then we had started a third one and then we just all stopped playing.
Okay.
And then I played Pathfinder for a class, actually. I took a class in sociology of gaming, and we had to do like the equivalent of 20 hours of Pathfinder campaigns at gaming conventions and then write a reflection paper on it.
Wow. Oh, God, why couldn't I go into college and have that as part of my course? Oh, it just sounds awesome. It's like, oh, I could do like a psychology paper on video games and how
Yes, I could.
you know, playing the harder video games actually gives you a greater sense of gratification for being able to get farther and be able to earn the victories as opposed to playing a mobile game like Candy Crush.
Well, I actually wrote in one of my college papers that the better you are at Bayonetta, the more naked she becomes.
That's true. Yes, that is
Yeah.
very true.
I have written that in a paper.
So I guess there's a stronger motivation for guys to do better in that game.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I really like the game yet I am terrible at it though? Does that make me not as
No, it just means you're tasteful.
I wish I could do better at it, not because of the mine is closed, just because it is a satisfying game to play.
Mm-hmm.
Which I may do that because Bayonetta 3 is another Switch title coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. So I might try to play through 1 and 2 again. Because it's been a while. A long while. Like 10 years, maybe? Not 10. I would at least 7, right? Because when did Bayonetta 2
If you like
come out?
Bayonetta, yeah. If you like Bayonetta, I recommend Devil May Cry for sure, because that's also a really good action fighting series.
I have played the first one. That's it.
Only the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, need to play more.
And that was more
because it gets really, really good.
That's when it was like Resident Evil a bit more, when it was still attempting to be a Resident Evil game, and then because that's the original story of Devil May Cry, is it was supposed to be Resident Evil 4, and they scrapped it and they made it Devil May Cry. Then Resident Evil 4 became what it is today.
That's hilarious. Oh, another good game that you could play if you like Bayonetta would probably be Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Ooh,
Yeah.
You got to play it. If you don't play it for the fact that it's kind of similar to Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, you got to play it at least for the memes, literally and figuratively. Because, well, literally in like it's like twofold, because the focus of the game also revolves around memes.
Yeah.
It's complicated, but I mean, like, it's pretty good. Like, I would definitely recommend it. It's a classic in its own right. It's a modern classic is what it is.
I will say, I outside of Monster Hunter, I've dabbled back into the Breach, which is the strategy RPG. Or it's not even RPG, I would say. You do level up a bit, but I really like Into the Breach. They had a free update that added a bunch of new teams and monsters and stuff. And I've decided I'm turning off the new monsters because I need to get used to the game before I get back to playing with the new monsters. Because they're tough. They're super tough. They complicate the game in ways that I am not ready for again. I've been doing that, and Sasha, have you seen since I got the gaming glove in?
No.
You have to see it. It's the reverse power glove.
This is my keyboard now that I game with.
Interesting.
So it's this joystick here is WSAD, and I have, like, when you push down, it's hard to see because basically there's a push down, a push forward, a push back, push to the side, and then there's buttons up here that are like you reach up and you push those, and there's buttons back here that you pull back for, like, so you put your hand in it like this, and then you're pushing like different sections of buttons. And it's a full keyboard. Like, you can map every key to be like every letter if you like. I've been using that, and playing a strategy game with it has been kind of my speed with that thing so far. I tried playing a shooter with it, which didn't go terrible. There was a lot more keys to press. But Yeah, it's I'm still getting used to it. I am relearning how to play a keyboard game with that. So,
Our boy is becoming a cyborg.
yep.
I just feel like it would be easier to plug a controller into your computer.
I swear, the moment
I
that
mean,
you
like,
said he's
this
becoming a
one I've had
cyborg, you just
sitting beside my
immediately,
computer forever.
immediately had me think of Metal Gear Rising, where what was it? Where Senator Armstrong goes, "Nanomachine, son." Oh God, no!
Okay,
No!
so
Oh, Metal Gear Rising. Why is it so meme worthy? Oh, it's just great.
I like having the mouse. I think having the mouse is solved for me. Like I like the mouse. It's my left hand. What do I do with my left hand to make gaming feel good? And it having a joystick and a bunch of other keys and stuff that I can map my brain to, I think is the compromise I can have of having like essentially half of a controller and also a mouse.
Hmm.
So
I feel like I would be having an old dog, new tricks problem with that.
I certainly am. Yes, 100%. Like I am slow on the uptake, but that is why I tested out some new Into the Breach content with it cuz like literally the only thing on the keyboard I have to press is 1 and escape, and I know where those are on this thing. Cuz
Oh yeah, didn't you
Some
have some
Monster
trouble
Hunter on it.
initially with the mapping because you didn't have escape set or whatever it was?
I did not. Escape is now the button that is when you're on the stick. Escape is this button here. I
Hmm.
did press it. I don't know if that had closed anything. Okay, we're good. Because it is hooked up. It is running. So if I hit that, that will hit escape.
Just ends the stream there. Well,
Good night, folks. Later. I
And that
accidentally hit.
concludes another episode of What's Going On? Starring Keyman.
I'm disorganized right now. It's like I have a bunch of stuff on my desk right now, not discluding a bunch of the girls' socks. I didn't know where else to put them right now.
mhm.
Brand new ones. I had to buy them white socks because they didn't have any white socks for the wedding last week. Oh, you missed that last week, Sasha. Emery had another Emery moment at the wedding.
Oh.
So we were at the dinner afterwards, and she was okay. She was sitting on my lap through the ceremony and just asking a bunch of questions. So I was like, "Hey, it's time to be quiet. We're not talking during the wedding." Like, yes, that's all of his family and friends. Yes, that's all the people he knows. Yes. Well, we were sat at a table, and there were some people we knew. I knew everyone at the table, and there was 4 of us. So it's me, the girls, and my brother. But there's this guy who kind of sat. There was a couple sitting, and he sat on the exact opposite, which means there was no 4-person seat. There was no section of 4 people. There was only 3. So Chance had to not sit with us. And my normal thing when I'm out with the girls, because they both want to sit beside me, is one's on my left, one's on my right, because they both always want to sit beside me. So on my right would have been Emery, and on my left would have been Cece. And Gracie, which is a friend of ours, she was there. I know Gracie. She's seen the kids a couple times. Cece was comfortable sitting next to her. That's fine. There's this other guy, and I won't say his name because he is not a very how do I put this? I'm trying to put it nicely. He has a hygiene problem. And
Yes, I remember. I remember this discussion.
so much so that
Discussion.
earlier that week, my buddy who owns the game/card store that we play at, this individual was there playing in the tournament, and he had to clean the chair after the guy got up.
Ew.
So, and he frequently smells very bad. He was there again this past Wednesday, and he smelled very much. It was bad. It was really bad. and it was
He's like the adult version of Linus from Peanuts.
Pigpen.
I assume
Or
Linus.
Pigpen, yeah.
Ben,
Yeah, Linus was the pianist, right? Like, yeah,
Linus
It's
is the
been
one with the
forever since
spaghetti
I've seen
hair.
anything
Yeah.
Peanuts.
yeah.
My bad.
It's all good.
Sorry,
I mean,
Linus
Peanuts
has,
fans.
has a little
Now we're gonna
blanket.
be canceled by the Peanuts fans because of me. Sorry, guys.
I think you're safe.
I
Those
know
are
who Linus is.
that was
He's,
super popular in my mom's generation of kids. Like, you're good, man.
Yeah, he's Lucy's brother, and Lucy's the mean one with the dark hair. You know, she's constantly threatening physical violence on everybody.
Oh, you're right. No, Linus is the one with the blankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and believes in the Great Pumpkin.
Yes. Anyways,
Good cartoons.
So this guy who is terrible smelling and he was actually dressed up really nice for the wedding. Good for him. He's normally not very much dressed up. Like, granted, I don't dress up a lot. Like, I'm currently wearing shorts and t-shirt. That is my normal thing. I know I'm not the greatest dressed guy. But this guy, he takes it to another level of just bad. And he was actually dressed pretty nice, but he still smelled terrible during the wedding. And Emery was going to have to sit beside him and me. And Emery takes one look at him, and she goes, "Ugh." And she turns to me, and she's like, "I don't want to sit next to him. I don't like him." And I was like, "Okay, you sit beside your sister. I'll sit next to him," which I was not happy about, but I will do that for the sacrifice of my kid. And then that's about the worst Emeryism we got at the wedding. That was the only one, but it was cracking Chauncey up because he got a full on, like, looking at her face when she looked at him, eyes locked with him, and she goes, "Ugh." like, poor guy. I mean, he brings it on himself.
I don't blame her. Nobody wants to sit next to a zoo animal, so I mean, you know, I understand 100%.
So
I had a client one time tell a technician she smelled like the stinky cheese crayon from the Mr. Sketch set. Yeah, she did. I mean, he wasn't wrong, but
previously working at Walgreens,
whew,
there were definitely a few people that came in that smelled like a blanket of cigarettes and BO.
oh
So
yeah,
that's
it's
always a fun time.
It's lovely.
Yeah, this individual a lot of time smells of heavy BO, a lot of time, and so much so that the other card store actually has a thing of deodorant for him at the store that they tell him to put on.
That's so bad.
You're aware, like he's aware that he smells like that. I don't understand.
I don't either. I don't get it. If I forget to brush my teeth in the morning, like an hour later, I'm like, my teeth feel terrible and disgusting. I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
Yeah. I mean, there's a time earlier this week where I showered before work, but I didn't put on deodorant, and then like several hours into my shift, I was like, oh, I didn't realize I was sweating that much, and I felt
You're
gross,
doing this
and
the
I
rest
was
of the
like,
workday,
all right.
like, I'm not.
Yeah, where you're just all tucked in, you'll force everything shut. You're like, oh, I can't afford to just release the smell.
I'll just pretend I'm cold for the rest of the day.
How you doing, Ace? Oh, I'm good. Hi, I'm good. It's like 100 degrees. What's wrong with you? Air conditioner's right on me. It's really cold. Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't get it. But hey, that was something. Holy crap! I forgot. Because I was so sidetracked with this whole life stuff, I forgot that we are doing the quiz next week.
Oh yeah.
So
yes, we are.
I'm gonna have to pull up some stuff so that we can decide the years, and I can tell you guys. Now I know you guys, Sasha, you in particular weren't going to study, but we'll figure that out here in a bit. So for me, going way back to the D&D stuff, and I asked you, Morg, about what would you like to see in the movie. For me, one of them is Beholder. Another one is always the same for me. I want to see a Hydra. I think Hydra are very common in D&D. They happen a lot. I love Hydras. That's just a me thing. I just want to see it.
Hydra for Monster Hunter 6th Gen.
Ooh,
Come
now
on,
that'd be cool.
Capcom. Do the right thing.
I think the closest thing that we
Show
had
me
to sort
what
of
you
like a
got.
Hydra, I think was, what was it? It was Nakarkos with like just the covered in like the bones with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
But
false
I mean, like,
Hydra. The cuttlefish. It's a false Hydra.
yeah, we need something else, something a little bit more Hydra-y.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. It is legitimately my favorite mythological creature. Is the Hydra. The Linarian Hydra, to be specific. Because that's where it came from when in the Greek stories, the swamp of Linaria or whatever.
Mm.
Oh,
I
that
still
explains why
enjoy
in
my
Heroes of Might and Magic you need a swamp in order to be able to get Hydras.
Yeah.
Ah.
I still enjoy my Hydra Broodmaster pump deck.
Oh yeah, for magic. Mm-hmm.
Flood the board with babies.
Hydra babies. Yep. Yeah, I had those in one of my last standard decks that I ever had.
Oh, Ace, if you want to pump out even more Hydras faster, just put Helm of the Host into your deck, and then just equip it onto your Hydra that produces more Hydras, and then just have it produce, I think, like additional tokens that are like exact copies of the monster that you put Helm of the Host on, and then you can just like exponentially increase the number of baby Hydras that you can put onto the field.
Yeah.
It's a huge mana sink though.
Even with how the deck is in base, I mean the highest I've been able to pump for is 28 Hydra tokens.
Woo.
So
I think the best I did was 22s. But what I had is it's called the Dragon Throne of Tarkir in there, and it gives a creature defender, but you can tap it to give all other creatures power and toughness equal to the creature's power and trample. So when you give 22s, 26 power and toughness and trample, you win. Period. Like,
yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, the key interaction in that deck is Nykthos Shrine to Nyx and then Voyaging Satyr.
Yeah.
Like one Voyaging Satyr to untap Nykthos, which taps for however much green devotion you have.
Yep.
And then being able to untap it once or twice.
For the uninitiated, this is very much Magic
great.
the Gathering talk for the audience, if they don't know.
Ooh, yeah, I have a couple of cards. Like, I have a new Infect deck that I've been working on. It allows me, well, it uses Jin Cataxius, which allows you to be able to copy, I think it is sorcery, instant, and artifacts. If like it allow, like when you play them, you're allowed to copy one. Like, and then you're able to, like, whenever your opponent uses a spell, you can counter it. So I use him in conjunction with, I think there's like, there's a couple of cards that, like, one of them is, I think, a sorcery card that allows you to be able to create a copy of a monster that you have already on your side of the battlefield. And then there is a creature that allows you to be able to copy another creature that's on that battlefield as like a token if it's a legendary or whatever, and it's considered non-legendary. And then I have a what is it? It's a vampire priest. Yeah, and basically what happens is I've also got a vampire priest that transforms into a kraken horror that whenever you're attacking with monsters that are either krakens, leviathans, or serpents, you get to create tokens of those creatures. So if you put Jinkataxias in play, and then what you do is you put that kraken onto the field, and then what you can do is you can summon the I think it's called the Tromocratus, which is a what is it? I think it's an 8/8 kraken that has hexproof as long as it's not attacking or blocking. But when it is attacking, it is considered unblockable if your opponents do not block it with all of their monsters. So what you can do is you can put Helm of the Host on your Kraken Horror once he's transformed. Then what you can do is immediately after that, like at the beginning of your, I think it's like either at the beginning of your upkeep, what happens is you create a token of that legendary creature. Then what you do is then you summon Tromocratus, and then what you do is you attack with him, and then as you're like creating like copies of the Kraken Horror, you're also creating additional Tromocratuses. So your board just gets filled with a whole bunch of these unblockable Krakens, and then if you use Triumph of the Horde, which basically gives all of your monsters trample and infect, boom, baby, you've just won the game.
Yeah.
That's part of my That's part of my infect commander deck, because infect in commander is just so stupid, because everybody's supposed to have like I think 40 hit
life,
points.
40 life.
And 40
infect
life. If
says
the command
you have 10. Yeah, infect is take 10 infect, you die. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just like blitz commander. So like everybody's out to kill you, which is also why I put the Hornet Queen in purposefully, so that way I could do that. And then there's like another creature that I have. There's a horror elemental.
4/1/1 flying death touches when it enters the battle.
Yeah, so basically you create an infinite shield. I can't remember. There's another card. It was a horror elemental that makes it so that whenever a triggered ability that is caused by a monster entering into the battlefield is triggered, you get to trigger it again. So if you were to put the Helm of the Host onto it, and then you put the Hornet Queen into play, then essentially what happens is that you get like, say, if you have like maybe 3 of those, you can put down let me see, I think like 16 of those 1/1 flying death touch insects onto the field. So you're basically untouchable.
Yep. Yeah, they're forever
So,
blockers.
There's so much synergy with that deck that just plays in, like it just makes it so good. And that's also why I made it so that the Mimoplasm, which made it my commander, because it basically allows you to be able to transform it into any 2 creatures that are in your graveyard. You exile those 2 cards, and then you take one of those creatures, and you make the Mimoplasm it. And then what you do is then you add +1/+1 counters equal to the strength and the strength and endurance of the other creatures. So if you also include the Impervious Worm, 16/16. So you get 16 +1/+1 counters, and you could even put it on, like, say, I don't know, the Phyrexian Crusader. So then you get an 18/18 with infect that has protection against red and white. So it's like, like honestly, this deck is just so fun to play. Like I love Commander for this.
I have not played Magic in quite a while, but that does sound fun. It's
I can't wait to play it. It's gonna be so fun.
So I wanted to ask you, Sasha, because you've been away for 2 weeks. Have you got any more gaming in, or were you just busy the whole time?
I did finish Road 96.
Okay.
Which was, I really liked it. I want to play it through one more time for a New Game Plus, because you do get the option to play it through again with the bonuses that you picked up the first time.
Sure.
But overall, it was a different kind of game for me, but I really liked it. I have not played really anything else. I've been watching a lot of movies on Netflix and just trying to like catch little pockets of time. Yeah, I watched I watched a couple of the new releases on Netflix. One that was really good. I think it's like Spider something. It's got Chris Hemsworth in it, and he runs this like state of the art prison where they give people
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals.
I put it on my watch list because I saw an ad for it. Yeah.
That I really liked that. I thought that was really good. I couldn't pull myself away. That it actually was really interesting.
That's
and
the
that
one where
started
they
my
mess with people's emotions.
yes,
Yeah.
Ooh.
yes. They're like serving out their prison sentences by being guinea pigs for the pharmaceutical company.
Yep. Yeah, and
That
it was
sounds so very modern dystopia.
It was very morally
Yeah.
gray position movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. And then I watched. There was one with the woman that's in all the Mike Flanagan movies, Kate Siegel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, she plays a woman who gets involved with a psychiatrist who does hypnotherapy, and he does like plant some post hypnotic suggestions that control her mind, and he's obsessed with her.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, I'll see what this one's called. I just watched it yesterday. Hypnotic. Yeah, that's pretty on the nose.
I am trying to think of the movie that I watched, but I do not remember. The Sea Beast. You guys seen that? I watched that with the kids. Sea
Ooh.
Beast. That one's
No,
really
I don't think I've
good.
actually even heard of that.
I tried to get her to watch it, but we didn't get that.
It's basically like it's hard to explain, but it's like these pirate hunters that go kill out these sea monsters. Oh, trying not to put my mouse over things because it's starting to play music. The Spiderhead is the name of the movie you were talking about.
Yep.
You have this like pirate captain and this little girl who like wants to be one of these pirate hunters, and they end up finding out that the sea beasts are actually kind of not evil and don't attack the land, that people just were getting rich off of killing these giant leviathans. So it's a pretty good kids movie, I would say, but it's fairly predictable in some areas, but it's really cool. Like it's gruesome for a kids movie. Like people die, so they don't shy away from that.
Ooh.
But yeah. I'm trying to find the movie that I watched, but it's something along. And now, don't get me wrong. It's like super sappy, like weird Hallmark movie thing I watched, but I had to watch something while I was working one day, and it's like the princess and the haircut or something. The prince and the haircut or something. This weird royalty guy from some country, needs a haircut, and they call up this beautician, and they accidentally call the wrong one. It's this home shot, like mom and pop beautician girl who runs the hair salon, and of course this rich prince and this beautician fall in love, and it's just really sappy Hallmark stuff.
So basically like Cinderella, but
Yes.
hairstylist.
But one thing I did watch that I was very happy to watch was we did the thing with staying overnight at the game shop, and we watched Starship Troopers as a group. That was fun. Get them to show that to a bunch of Zoomers.
Yeah. As you guys know, we saw Nope in theaters last weekend. It was very good.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We were going to see Super Dogs or whatever it is this weekend, but we got shanghaied into a picnic tomorrow instead.
Oh no! Kidnapped to do a picnic? That sounds awful. What are you
A
gonna
couple
do?
weeks ago, they released the third season, or I would just say third series of Love, Death, and Robots
Oh
on
yeah.
Netflix.
I love
Which,
that show.
if you haven't watched that, I think you'd probably like the sea monster episode with the Thanopod, which is like a giant crab, but it has the ability to like manipulate dead bodies.
That's weird.
Ooh, funky. I liked
And then
what was it? Season 2 Santa Claus. That was really good. Oh man.
that was hilarious. Where it's
Oh
like
my god.
just a horrible, disgusting monster that would
Some
murder them
eldritch
if they were bad,
abomination.
but then it
Mhm.
just like pukes up presents for them.
Yeah, it's like some eldritch horror that just comes into everybody's house to see if like their kids are good or not, and
You
if
guys
they're
watch
good,
some weird
just
stuff.
just regurgitates. Dude, it's a
funny.
great show. Oh man, it's a fantastic show. Couldn't
Okay.
recommend
So
anything better.
essentially, it's just a collection of like different stories, all animated and voice acted by like different little studios and stuff like that.
Mhm.
In the third season, they had a return of some characters from the first season, which are these three robots that are exploring a post-apocalyptic
Post-apocalyptic
world.
world, yeah.
There's one that's like a orange, almost astrobot looking guy. There's one that's like a pretty much like a black and white humanoid one, but it's like the Xbot. It's like the Xbot 5000 or something.
Yeah.
And then they have like a like sort of like monolith pyramid one that has like the Siri voice. So they're just like exploring and stuff like that. In the first one, they were uh, just like exploring different areas where humans lived in, and then in the one in season 3, they're exploring like different methods humans tried to survive. So they
Mhm.
had like the redneck compound with like a whole bunch of booby traps and like guns and artillery and stuff like that, and they had what the orange astro robot referred to as a blood pit because people fell onto like wooden stakes and stuff like that. Um, they had the tech billionaire getaway, which was on a repurposed oil rig where they all starved to death because they weren't inclusive, and the AI robots that were supposed to help them turned on them. And then there was the escape missions with the basically like at a NASA compound essentially, and there's like skeletons just like lining the fences, and they press a button at one point, and there's just like these massive flamethrowers that pop up and just further incinerate all the skeletons of people that were like desperately trying to get onto the ships to escape.
Oh
Okay.
man, now I'm gonna have to see season 3
So-
because this is gonna be a really good season.
So that reminded me. There's a character. There was a new character in the Hard Luck Hank book that I was. It's like book 9 that came out recently that I listened to. She's a 10,000-year-old retired sex bot, and she hates humans, and she is a funny character.
Yeah.
And now-
On the at the tech influencers oil rig thing, the AI that was there in like a holo projector, I'm not sure why it wasn't able to like recognize them as robots. Like they,
Right.
I think the orange astromech like took the role of like a human and was like, "Can you reel in the fishing nets for me?" And at that point, it was like the AI had already turned, so it rejected that. And like as they were like leaving, she goes like, "Suck it, meat bags."
I hear anytime you're like an android thing, like meat bag is a common insult you hear. Yeah.
Yeah, then she also flips them the bird too.
Yeah.
So a goofy series, and then they have like some episodes that are like up to your interpretation of things too.
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
it's an
do they
interesting
have any
series.
continuation of like the space spider that has like that ship in her web after they had like the faulty warp thing, whatever? Do they do like a
No,
sequel
that
to
one
that?
reminded me a lot of Dead Space though when I first saw that one. Uh,
Yeah.
no, but they have a different one that takes place on Earth and involves Cthulhu, and then they also have a different one with like a future human race where they're exploring, trying to like save humanity, I guess, or like expand humanity, and they find like a ancient alien uh,
Okay.
hive
So
situation
this
where it's
anthology thing is giving me some Black Mirror vibes now, and I'm kind of
somewhat.
not into that.
What?
Well, it's not all like
You guys have
sci-fi and
tried to
stuff like
convince
that.
me to watch Black Mirror before, and I just cannot even get over the
Just skip the
description.
pig. Just skip the pig.
Just skip the pig.
Dude,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
this is a lot more family friendly than you think it is. I mean, like nothing really bad happens in any of the Love
I
Death
don't.
Robots videos.
Well,
well,
so
I would say the Thanapod episode is a little. It's definitely on the gorier end.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong.
What
Family
about
friendly is
the
not an
episode with
issue
like
for
that
me.
magical trout? Remember the episode where they got like that massive fish or whatever, and then like then they made like that island like a massive tourist attraction. Like you remember that episode, right?
I don't think so.
And then
Might
like
have to go
you see
back and
like
watch it.
yeah, it's in season 2. I know that much. It was a really good one. Season 1 though, season 1 had a lot of really good episodes in it. Definitely
Oh
worth
yeah,
checking
and
out at least.
they have one the season 2 where these like ragtag soldiers go to like a decommissioned I think either US or Russian base, and they end up having to fight a giant killer cybernetic bear.
Okay,
I remember that one. Yeah, that one's a cool one.
that sounds terrible for them.
Yeah. I mean, in season 1 or 2 there was like the whole supernatural horde from hell that the Russian soldiers had to fight because of like the Nazis going in trying to use supernatural methods to win the war.
Okay.
I think that was called like
Sounds an
the
awful
Secret
lot like
War or
Hell's
something like that.
Gate. Wait, wait, was that the name of the game? Hellgate or something like that? Where you get like modern classes. It's kind of like it'd be like a modern take on Diablo, but it's like
Talk about Hellgate
third
London.
person shooter. Yeah, Hellgate London. Yeah, that's the name of the game. That was a really good game.
That was the first. That was the first studio to come from disgruntled Blizzard employees, like back in the early 2000s.
That was a really good game.
That's why I remember that. Yeah, yeah. It's been there's a long string of studios that have been created in the wake of disgruntled Blizzard employees.
I was gonna say just like create either a company or like a union called disgruntled Blizzard employees.
They should. That would be like the funniest thing. Oh my god. Oh my god, the GBE. Now that would be a great company name, GBE. And then everybody will ask, well, what does it stand for? Disgruntled Blizzard employees. And then everybody will just laugh their asses off at it and be like, okay, yeah, we'll buy your games.
So, I was going to tell you more. There was a recent like boomer shooter sale on Good Old Games.
Ooh.
And
okay.
in one purchase, which I'm not going to say the dollar amount because it's embarrassing, but I did get more than 50% off.
Okay.
I got
Nice.
Shadow Warrior, Witch Haven 1 and 2, Shadow Warrior 3, Turok 1 and 2, Firestarter, Necrovision with an expansion, Dread Templar, Shadow Warrior Classic Redux, Forgive Me Father, and then Shadow Warrior 2 Deluxe. So like
Nice.
Oh
yeah. How you also doing? How you also doing after I sent you the link to Limited Run with their Doom Eternal stuff?
You know, I didn't even look. I knew that I was going to be like, I want all of this, and I'm trying to save for a house, and especially more so right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
dang it, Ace, I can't be tempted right now. Stop it.
Well, one of the things that they have is like
Yeah.
a skateboard deck, and I'm like, 420, I wouldn't care about that.
I used to skateboard, believe it or not.
Well,
I used to be a skateboarder.
I mean, you could put it
Uh,
on the wall as like a decoration.
I stopped skateboarding once
Yeah.
I was playing soccer I was at a Salvation Army band camp, and we had a bunch of like it was like the North Americans versus the South Americans and Korea,
Hmm.
because it was like a worldwide Salvation Army band camp, and so we had like a good 8 South Korean kids there, 2 people from Chile, 2 people from Argentina, and then versus um it was Korea versus the Americans and South Anime because the Chile guy was on our team. I remember him very well. His name was Maximilian, and he refused to be called Max. It was always Maximilian. And this guy, I will never see someone who brushed their teeth as vigorously as this guy because like we had dorms and stuff, but he would take like you see on the movies people put like a big like glop of toothpaste on their toothbrush, like like a huge one, like more than bristles, and he was like he'd go like for like 15 minutes. I'm not even kidding. And he had like toothpaste like covering his forearm because he would like do it over the sink so it would drip into the sink. And I was like, what the heck, dude? What are you eating? Like, anyways, so I stopped skateboarding because during a soccer game with one of the kids slide tackled me and twisted my knee 90 degrees to the right. So
Ooh.
I no longer could walk on that knee for the rest of the band camp. I had crutches. And when I came back, I had a brace on it. And then my cross country coach was like, "Oh, you're good. You can run." I'm like, "No, I can't. I just like got off of crutches like yesterday. Like I'm not running." And she's like, "You're running or you're off the team." So I ran and I hurt my knee more. So then I just couldn't skateboard anymore after a while. Like I may still have knee problems
What the
from
fuck
that.
kind of bullshit is that?
That is the same cross country
Cripple
team
yourself or you're off the team.
that I ended up getting kicked off one year
would've been
and
like,
quitting
"Bitch."
the second year. I was only ever in it 2 years. Like I never finished a cross country season because I was either kicked off or quit.
That's stupid.
That
No
was,
point even joining any of those things. It's not even that.
but I was in track, so like they were like, "Oh, naturally you're a long distance runner in track, so you're going to be a cross country runner." I'm like, "Yeah, but you see, a 5K is a lot longer than 2 miles that I do. It may not seem like a lot, but it feels like a lot longer. See, instead of running
Yeah.
like whatever 10 minutes that I used to run, now it's like 22. Like we're more than doubling the time." So,
Oh, speaking of, you did mention Turok.
yeah.
I found Turok for N64, and
At
I've
that
got
store.
it.
That's a good one.
I saw Turok 2, but I couldn't afford it because I ended up buying Rampage instead alongside Turok. But I know where to get Turok 2 if I wanted to get it for $30.
Rampage is a good
This-
game. I will never not say that
Yeah.
it is a good game.
Yeah, I was like, do I get two copies of Turok, like Turok 1 and Turok 2, or do I get Turok and then
Hey,
Rampage?
as much as I love Turok, it's a slog to get through both of them back to back. You were right in breaking it up with something else. Like it,
Yep.
you can't do it. So
And unfortunately, my the copy of Majora's Mask that I was looking to get got canceled on me, so I'm gonna have to actually find another copy of Majora's Mask that is affordable still, that is not like $270.
mhm.
And then I've got to try and change out the one N64 that I have because there are no expansion packs. I swear, expansion packs nowadays, like trying to get one of those, it would be like trying to get a GPU for your computer at the height of those crypto miner bastards, like having eaten them all up, it is almost impossible to get one. I don't know where to get one. So this one shop that I went to, they were like the console that it's in, and I'm like, oh, and they're like, yes, and I'm like, that's still cheaper than going to Amazon and paying for an expansion pack for $110. I'll just switch in the N64 that I haven't played on yet to get a new one with an expansion pack on it. Okay, fine, this will work out. Okay, let's see if we could do a trade, maybe Sunday or something like that. So let me see. I've got GoldenEye, Pokemon Stadium. Let me see. What was the other game that I got? It was Banjo-Kazooie. Then I've ordered Ocarina of Time, and then I've got a ROM hack for Legend of Zelda. It is called The Missing Link. And then I've got Donkey Kong 64 on the way. What else do I have? I think that's all I've got right now, aside from Rampage and Turok.
Okay. Yeah, you went
Yeah,
really robotic there for a second. Like super robotic. In fact, your audio was behind where you were talking, so it looked like you were dubbing yourself. It was hilarious.
No! Did you guys get the gist of what I was saying?
We did.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think I missed a whole word, but it was funny how you desynced and you were just like, all three of us were like, okay, what? Are we losing him? Like, oh.
No, I'm still here. I'm just going full Daft Punk. Sorry, guys. Or maybe Deadmau5. I don't know. Pick one.
I raised my glove during that because I bought all those games because they'd be something to learn the keyboard with. Really get acquainted with something like that. Especially Turok, because it's got a lot of buttons.
I had no idea that it would be so expensive getting physical copies and like having like a full
you're really behind again
for N64. At least it's mine, and even if I
will say, if I find an expansion pack, I can let you know, and you can order it from my buddy at his store. I'm pretty sure he'll send it to you if he ever gets one at a decent price.
That would be awesome.
That was super delayed. That was way delayed. And then
we can do a transaction.
Okay.
No. We're gonna have to cut this episode short, guys.
So we talked about a lot of things today. I think we were supposed to talk about D&D stuff, but it's just it's a movie that we're excited about. Of course, this started the whole Dwayne the Rajang Johnson thing that we talked about last week. Talking about this D&D movie. So we talked about there's a monkey monster in Monster Hunter to explain, and we was talking about casting him as Dwayne Johnson the Rock.
Yeah, we wanted Dwayne the Rock Johnson in a monkey suit.
Yes, to play Rajang.
Beating the shit out of people. It'd be great.
I mean, there was that joke video of him playing a reimagining of Bambi. Where he's going after, I guess, the hunter that killed his mom or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
In the video,
Bambi
he's
came
like
back from the woods.
On a cigar.
Only they had a gym.
Yeah, he
oh my God.
He had a funny bit on the Game Awards too, if you guys remember, where he was.
I don't think I saw that.
He was hyping up his role as Black Adam, but he was like. He was like showing off his gym at his house. It was like a full 24-hour gym looking place. Like it was a pretty funny video.
Okay, so he's getting ripped.
It's a pretty funny advertising thing he did during the Game Awards. I was gonna say there was some. So that reminds me. So I'm not gonna dwell too much on Monster Hunter because we talked about it for 2 weeks or whatever. But I will say. That even though I did play a lot, I am down to exactly 2 monsters left to crown. That's it, and it is a single crown for both. I have 2 crowns left, period, and the game is 100%ed. I have done everything. As assuming that I kill my 1,000th master rank monster in the process, which I'm probably also close to.
Oh yeah. Have you killed the final boss of Sunbreak with just shurikens?
I don't think that's possible.
I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, because there's a whole section where you have to use like the cannons, and I don't think the shurikens reach that far.
I mean, you could use the cannons, but
Okay, I've not
the
done
main bulk
everything
has to be with the shurikens.
physically possible in the game. No, I have done everything achievement wise that the game tracks almost.
Have you come up with a really funny sexual name for Geismagorm yet?
Yeah, Guygasm. That's a
Okay,
simple
yeah,
one.
you've
That's what I
100%
called him
this
the
game.
first time.
I was gonna call him.
That's what I
Yeah,
call.
I was almost tempted to call him Geismagasm
No, just
boy.
Guygasm. That's all you got to
or
do.
Gasm Geyser. Gasm Geyser! Yay! Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it
an even
is-
better name. Oh my god! Oh god! It just reeks of like cum fountain. Oh wait! Oh yep. Scrap that. Scrub that from your minds. Erase that. No, we don't want people thinking about it. Oh no! The fanfic artists. Oh no! Once they get their hands on that. Oh no!
You
It's
just
bad enough
gave
So
that there
much
is.
for the show ever being sponsored.
you
Oh
you
no!
just gave.
Monster Hunter Rule 34. Oh, it's gonna
Yeah, I was
keep
gonna
going.
say you just give AMH34U a big inspiration there.
Oh no!
So-
What have I done?
Gosh, I'm so afraid of that subreddit. I never want to go there again. That was so. To preface, the reason why I went there because they asked us for when I was a mod of r/Monster Hunter. They asked us for a cross promotion, and I legit didn't think about their name when they said MH34U. So I wasn't thinking about. Oh yeah, because the things out at the time were Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate and 4 Ultimate, so why not 34U, right? Didn't think Rule 34, because like, why would I think like that? So I go to their subreddit, and I see what they are, and I'm like, nope, I'm not even answering this request for cross promotion. Nothing, nada, not even acknowledging it. So that's why I know where that place is. Oh man.
Well, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 got funding from Playboy, so I mean, like, I guess it can work out if you've got the right connections, and if they make money.
Yeah, I mean,
What was it? What was it? I think there was a movie. It was called The Director or something like that, where I can't remember the name of the
I'm very afraid
comedian who was playing as like as a reformed alcoholic, and it was so funny because he was making a movie about like the traumatic experiences of alcoholism or whatever, and he's got like one guy in like boxer briefs just standing there naked with like a bottle of beer, and he's like, "Why am I like half naked?" And the guy's like, "Because sex sells." Action. It was so funny.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I gotta try and remember the name of that movie. It was so fun. Well, I gotta try and remember the name of the actor. Yeah.
I haven't been watching a lot
anyways,
of things because I've been listening while playing Monster Hunter. Hence why I finished the latest Hard Luck Hank and started Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something about me and simple names in the title that just I find to be hilarious books. Hank, Carl, just these really basic names. I really like it. So is anything else you guys want to touch on tonight before we go? We were all over the place.
Well, it is the wild card episode, so makes
True.
sense.
It's our second one of the month, and we didn't think we were going to have it because we thought I was going to be in Tennessee, but that ended up not being the case. So next week we are going to do the quiz show once again, and we're going to have the full 3 again. So we won't have the bonus game of can you beat yourselves on the PvE portion. So so the years that we're going to do this time, which I will make special note of here, I think we're going to do 1987, We're going to do 1994.
Okay.
And I am looking at the list to see if I'm not doubling up. Let's do 2003.
Mm,
2010.
okay. 1997, 94, and 2003, 2010.
And then we will do 2015. Yeah, it's 5.
These will be good years to pick from.
Yep. So I've got those marked off. I'll find the time between looking for lawyers this week and doing that. Although I've got a lot of help, so looking for a lawyer shouldn't be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just get Saul Goodman.
I wish, man, if I could have someone like that on my side, that'd be great. Have it all over and done with.
Yeah, they've only got I think like 4 or 5 more episodes in the last season.
It sounds. I feel like I need to watch Breaking Bad before I watch that, and I really want to watch that. But I'm very afraid to watch Breaking Bad because that might be a little too drama-y for me. A little too hardcore.
It's technically a prequel.
Yeah, but
just even a Better
prequel,
Call Saul, yeah.
Even a prequel ends up being a sequel in some ways because you can't appreciate some of the stuff until you know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like things will just fly over your head because you're like, oh, that's what happened. You know, that's that thing it's referencing, and you're like, no idea. You're watching it for the first time.
Because they did the mid-season break. The mid-season premiere was fantastic.
Yeah, that's what.
And then
that's what Primal ended up doing. That's why you see when you get Primal, it's part 1 and part 2 because they did a mid-season break.
Yeah, and then last week's episode was interesting and gave me a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a calm down from the hype of coming back.
Sure.
I like to think of prequels as being like part of the series where you already know what the end is going to be. Because you've already seen like what happens after the fact, but this is like the beforehand afterwards. It's kind of like, like it's like if like some old man was regaling a story where their life was in danger, and then the kids are like, oh, "Did you die?" And it's like,
of course I didn't. I'm sitting right here.
You think, kiddo? Like, I'm right here to tell you the story, kid. Of course I died. No, everything went okay. And then the kids are like, oh, what a relief. And I'm like, I feel like that in the film, like in the movie, like in the theater when I'm watching a movie like that, where it's like, guys, this is a prequel. We already know how it's going to play out. Like,
yeah, I think it's
why
a
are you
big
surprised?
reason. That's a big reason why prequels tend to have a uphill battle. Because you already know so much. Like, kind of already know the ending. So, anyways. Well, we'll call it there tonight, folks. Get ready for a quiz show next week, and hopefully that goes swimmingly. We'll see if Sasha's new tactic of not studying works out. Or maybe she'll surprise us and study.
No, I'm not going to study. I already know I'm not. I have a really busy week of work, so.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Fair. I can't drink it anymore. I tried drinking a lemonade, because I've been, water only for the past couple months. And I tried drinking a lemonade at like Applebee's a couple weeks ago. I couldn't finish it. Like, I was just too much sugar. And I don't understand. It's like something turned off on my brain with like sugar and drinks.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope, can't do it. It's gross. I can't.
It's because your body no longer is relying on fructose. That's a good thing because fructose is the most unhealthy sugar for your body. Sucrose You can have as much of that as you want because it's a natural sugar that your body is able to process naturally, very quickly and efficiently. It's good. Fructose, it produces fat, and it's very hard on your liver. It's not very good for you. So stay away from fructose. Natural sugars, great for you. Honey is probably the best sweetener for you. I put it in my coffee all the time. And me, I'm skinny.
Yep.
Me, tiny little man. Honey, definitely going to promote it.
Okay. I'll ask my friend Zweeper. He's a beef farmer. Random ad for honey. Alrighty. We'll see you guys.
This podcast was proudly sponsored by
honey.
Bees.
Oh, wait.
No, anyways.
If you guys want to keep up with the show, at HunterSubPod on Twitter, you'll see probably me posting a lot of Monster Hunter stuff I've been doing, clips and stuff like that lately. And then also crowns. But I've only got 2 of those left coming, and I'm hoping to finish that tonight if I can, or at least I want to get it done before we get the new content and give me some breathing room to play some other games. So
I'm already at MR4, so I'm right up there with you. I'm going to be getting to MR5 really, really soon.
It's awesome. Ace is almost to that 100, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll probably get a big boost if you've been playing around a lot. What?
The asshole in me when Morg was you were talking about getting to 5, I'm like, that's nothing. Just wait till you gotta climb up to 100 and beyond.
I mean, then I could just one up you being
model.
like 222, baby.
Yeah.
But I've been crown hunting, so how that results. So if you want to catch up with Ace, it's at Ace Badger Gaming on Twitter. Also doing a lot of Monster Hunter stuff lately, as well as some political stuff I saw. I haven't been on Twitter too much though. And then follow the Discord for Morg and Sasha, which is you can get to through either Ace or I, or just search it up. We had someone just search us out and join us this week. It was kind of good. So thanks everyone for watching and listening, and we'll catch you next week with that quiz show. I think it's number 9. I think quiz number 9. So I'm doing this for 9 months now. I'm
I can't wait to lose.
Sasha currently has the belt, right? So we'll see if she keeps it. Ace can grab it back for another minute of glory. I hope you do better this time, Ace. I really do. Because
we'll see.
The 3 out the gate, I was so hopeful, and then you got nothing else. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a great performance.
So we'll catch you guys next week.
He's a sprinter, not a
marathon.
marathon.
You were in track and field. I essentially nailed the first one, and then I just ran straight into all the other hurdles.
Yep. Perfect form, and then
ow, ow, ow,
and then
ow, ow.
Disqualified on all the other ones. Yep. Alrighty. Later, folks.
Take care.
Bees.